Hi folks, Dave with DBSTECHTALK, and today Milo is going to help me to do a review of the Aune X7S. I'll go, don't bother, stay right there. Alright, so the Aune X7S, I want to apologize. I received this months ago and I've used it in almost every single one of my reviews of headphones and discussing things. But I never did a full review of it. I've talked about it, whether it's better balanced or single-ended and how different headphones sound on it balanced, but I never actually gave it a true review. So the Aune X7S is sitting right here. We will make sure I don't spill my coffee here. Let's set you out of the way over here. And then we will take this and we'll pull it out and show it to everybody. Now the Aune X7S, it's about the size of my hand lengthwise. It's about 3 fingers, 2.5 deep. And on the back you have your power switch, your power plug, which is proprietary, and you can use it with the XPI, or XP1, sorry, the Aune XP1 power supply. And then it has RCA in and audio out, RCA out. So you can use this as a preamp, which is a nice touch. I have not used it in that regard yet. On the front, you have a XLR 4-pin, you have a 6.35 1/4-inch, and you have a volume knob. And then there is a extremely small, you can see it right there, a little pinhole LED. That's your power. And it's a really light green, white. It's really, really extremely hard to see and does not cause any issues. There are some power lights that are just like, boom, and this one does not do that. So that's very nice. And then on the bottom, you have your gain switches. It gives a little diagram, and then you move the little sliders up and down, and it works. I have it set on high gain. Works well with everything I have. Do have to control the volume just a little bit more, but it doesn't add anything to the sound, like making it sound like harsh or anything of the sort to my ears. Very high impedance, very powerful amp. And so you do have to be careful what you use on it. IEMs and stuff that are really low sensitivity, or excuse me, high sensitivity, low impedance, do not use. Pretty much anything under 32 ohms probably really shouldn't be used on it unless it has a sensitivity that's low and hard. So like the Mr. Speaker's Aeon Flows actually sound really good on this, but that's because their ohms are lower, but their impedance is low, but also their sensitivity is low. So it takes more to drive them. So that works well. Build quality wise, it's very nice, has the little feet, and it stacks really great with the X1S here. And you definitely do notice a difference when you use the 1/4-inch versus the XLR. Now, this is not a true balanced amp. Something's going on in the internals that makes it produce more. You're basically just getting more power out of this, but you do notice a difference in sound quality also. Let's get it all back and hooked up here so I don't mess with things too much. Boom. And it just gets connected in right like that. Easy peasy. Sound wise, there's just this presence and authority that this amp has in regards to everything else that I have. It has real true, just I know what I'm doing type of sound, and that's just so pleasurable. And to it, it's the amp that I always go to. I have the CTH, I have the Audio GD, I have the APPJ, and I also have the Geshelli. And every time, and I also have the X1S. And every time that I'm listening to a headphone, I'm reaching for the X7S. There's just this way that it presents the sound that just keeps drawing you back. It's not the most technically best dynamic frequency amplifier out there, but there's just a way that it presents the sound that just sounds so good. So what do I mean by that? Well, analytically, probably just straight up, the most neutral of all my decks or amps that I have, either the Audio GD or the Geshelli Arcal Pro are going to be the more linear, neutral, just straight across the board, no colorization of sound. The CTH and the APPJ obviously have tubes involved in them, so they're going to do a little bit of a change to the sound. But the Aune just has this way of adding just enough colorization, just enough warmth to it, that it doesn't change any of the details, doesn't change any of the, you're not going to lose out on anything, but it just colors it up just enough so it's just pleasurable to the ears. Now, I have no way of measuring this other than with my ears, so who knows, if you look at graphs and all that kind of stuff, what they say. But to the ears, it's just so romantic and so warm sounding. And I absolutely love it. Bass has really nice impact, really good just thumps and great detail. And you can really get into and feel the music. And it does dig deep when it needs to. And it doesn't muddy it up. It's just got a nice tone and texture to it. It sounds very natural when it comes to the bass. The mids are very romantic, very smooth, have a very nice timbre to them, and they just have this way of sounding natural. And then the highs are very, very smooth and crisp, and you can get way up there, and you can hear the details and the clarity and the imaging is right there in the highs. But it's never sibilant or sharp, and it's not overexposed. It's a very smooth transition, not super extreme peaks and valleys. It's a very smooth across. And then all of the bass, the mids, and the treble, none of them are forward more than the other. They're all very balanced and even, which makes it a really nice amp in that regard. It doesn't extenuate one over the other. Soundstage is as wide as you need it to be. It's not as wide as some. Like I do notice that the CTH at times can be a little bit wider in sound stage, but it's not going. The Aune's not going to let you down. Details are there. If the headphones can play them, this is going to allow it to play. I mean, it's just going to show them to you, and then the tonality and the spacing and all that is right there. I mean, this has great space and airiness to it. The difference really comes between the 1/4-inch adapter and the XLR, and you get a significant difference in power, and you notice that. If you have headphones that you can run unbalanced, run them unbalanced with the Aune. It just makes a massive difference. And power adds just more robustness to already the authoritative control that the Aune has. So highly recommend that. The 1/4-inch is okay. If you're going to use headphones that are a little more on the more sensitive side or don't require as much power, I would use the 1/4-inch. And it's not going to let you down. But if you're using more demanding headphones, make sure you run it balanced. Overall, the Aune X7S is an amp that has not let me down at all. And it truly outperformed my topping stack when I had the topping here. And it just said, use the Aune. You don't need the topping. And I got rid of it. And I'm happy. It's just been such a pleasure to use. It has a commanding presence. It knows what it wants to do, and it knows what it's presenting, and it does it in such a smooth and just pleasant way. It is the pleasant master, the pleasing, just, what do you want, sir? Here you go. Here's your music. Oh, enjoy. It's just effortless in what it does. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.